This is Crux Intelligence. This is AI-powered augmented analytics platform that helps users significantly reduce the time to insights. Users love Crux Intelligence because it allows them to get instant answers across complex data sets, whether that's SAP HANA or Salesforce, and they can do so using natural language. There's no list or there's no complicated formulas or lists of reports to filter through. They don't need to know which data sets to pull from to get specific information. It makes it easy for businesses to transform the way that they make decisions to drive growth by looking at those multiple data sets across databases to paint a picture of what's really going on in your business holistically. So our goal is to be intuitive AI for everyone. I'm playing the role of a retail e-commerce supply chain manager. So in this role, I might be interested in tracking my fulfillment risk for orders across stores, modes of orders, viewing recommendations to mitigate that risk, and having visibility into key KPIs like net sales value lost, uh, back orders, returns, inventory levels, and projected risk. I'm here in my dashboards that were created by my admin. This might be where I spend a lot of my day to observe my business, just to make sure I'm catching any developing trends or anomalies. Nudges or alerts is where I might start my day. Here, this is an example of a early warning spike. There's several types of nudges, such as spikes, drops, developing trends, change in trends, and threshold alerts, which are set by the admin. This is showing me that quantity at risk is about 3,500 for apparel. This could be nighttime cold, flu, or ibuprofen, whereas that's what's projected 35, whereas the expected value is about 1,700, and that's for Tuesday, April 19th. I can see that here where they've calculated the expected value, and that's where they're projecting my quantity at risk is. I can see why and where, so it significantly reduced that time to insight, telling me to look at back orders, which is driving my quantity at risk, and which city and store to look at as well to fix that issue. I can go into Explore, which is like the next 5 questions that you might ask of the data to get a holistic view of the business. Here I'm looking at the overall KPI. I can slice and dice that data if I want to. I can see the key trend. It does look like back orders is significantly correlated with my quantity at risk. I can see frequently viewed together measures, which is like the next 5 questions that my team has asked. So Crux Intelligence is constantly learning from my team's behavior as well as my behavior, both implicit and explicit. And it's shown me here that typically folks are looking at on-hand inventory as soon as they're looking at quantity at risk. Looks like mine is pretty low at negative 2,800. I also want to check just my service level, looks at like 30%, and my percent high risk order has gone up to about 70% there. Um, Here with the frequently viewed breakdown, again, this is typically what folks will filter by as UPC or in your case SKU, but I could also look at it across city. But let's say I have some questions of the data that I just want to ask it directly. I don't have to dig through dashboards or nudges and alerts. I can just ask the system here directly. Um, Before I ask that, I'll show you this is the available data. Looking across attributes, you might think of these as like categories or geographies and measures, things like KPIs. So looking at orders, returns, net sales value lost, and net sales value quantity at risk, and other similar items. But I'll ask here the daily inventory for the next 2 weeks. Um, Crux Intelligence does really well with disambiguous questions, such as those around um, like target at target, knowing that it's sales target at the retailer. So it also handles conditional questions like maybe let's see everything over 80% or under 20%. It handles ranking questions like top five sales rep, bottom two sales reps, as well as time period analysis. So comparing this year versus last year. Here I've asked daily inventory for the next 2 weeks. I can see that on April 19th, there is that big dip to negative 2,800. I can break this down. So if I want to see maybe what city is causing this, take a look at cities. See that Port Orange has been negative quite consistently. So maybe I just want to ask the system directly. Um, Port Orange daily for the next 2 weeks, I can get more of a holistic view of this location. You can see that the in transit inventory has been close to nil for a few days, or it's expected to for a few days, which definitely would drive um, that at risk status. I can share this via email. I can create a dashboard and to monitor. I'll create a new board. And it was created very quickly. And that's just a quick demonstration of Crux intelligence and how you can go from data to insights to actions very seamlessly. So I've switched over to the CPG supply chain demo. I'm playing the role of a customer service manager. I'm interested in looking at service level performance of my customers on this overall basis. Then I want to diagnose any drops in service to see how my service level is for specific products and categories. I want to look at any trends developing in my service level fill rates. And this usually is where I spend most of my day. Look at several dashboards to try to understand my business, identify any patterns, and possibly deep dive to understand the causes and connect with the relevant teams for next steps. What's great about Crux Intelligence is I get alerts about my business automatically delivered to my inbox. So I can see a couple of examples of alerts. I'm going to take you through this one for current delivery risk of 21 of 120 shipments is higher than the threshold that's been set. I can explore this, take a closer look. I can see the average. I can drill down into specific shipment numbers. This is a view that's been curated by the admin. It shows me the value of the shipment at 1.5 thousand, who the customer is, what the category is, as well as the SKU number. It then also gives me a recommendation on courier and appointment time, which are things that I might be able to control to reduce the delivery risk. Now, let's say I've identified this Costco. I want to see how Costco is doing on an overall basis. So I'll say Costco for next 7 days. And this is a very disambiguous question, but I'll get a lot of good information. It's going to show me a complete view of Costco, including the number of orders, the order value, service level, recommendations. I can also check my risk. So say delivery risk by customer for this month. And I can break it down by category if I want to get an even further look. And this is chocolate and gums and candies, but this could be nighttime cold and flu or ibuprofen. And this has just been a quick example of how you can go from data to insights to actions seamlessly with Crux Intelligence.